everybody. It's van time. What a great morning. Spent the morning training Mark and Jenny's leaders for their church in the 411, 4 questions in one day on one piece of paper. So what that does basically is trains them on how to share the gospel. It was a great time. And so Saturday, that was actually the second touch that I had with them. So the first touch I just modeled for them. The second touch, I taught them how to train others. And so they were basically training each other on how to do the 411. Saturday, they will be training their church, and I'll just be watching and assisting. And then they'll go out and into their neighborhood and share the gospel with their neighbors using the training that they received in the 411. So super exciting. Our neighbors.
Yeah.
So how do we approach our neighbors? What are we doing in order to meet, engage, and share the gospel with our neighbors?
Yeah. That's a good question. Well, some things are easy, like we had a neighbor who was having trouble. You just talk to them and you find out what's going on in their lives. And a lot of times we can pray for them because a lot of things in their lives are things that they are willing for us to pray with them about. I think about our next door neighbor. Her dog was having issues and major health issues, and they were going to go to Hawaii, but they had to delay going to Hawaii. And I felt like God was telling me, pray for the dog, and I didn't do it. And the dog's still alive. This was several years ago, and oftentimes I think about if I had prayed for that dog, that would have really showed love to the neighbor. And because I was worried, well, what if the dog dies after I pray for it? I don't want to look foolish. But that was a few years ago, and since then I've realized, that it doesn't matter what happens. We ask God to do things, He'll make it right, however it's supposed to go.
And I got your 6 because I prayed for the dog.
Yeah, well, I did pray for it, but I didn't pray for it right then while we were talking, and the dog was right there, which I knew I probably should have.
Yeah, I prayed with the neighbors several times for the dog during that season. Mm-hmm. So that's the importance of having a team. Sometimes we don't get to something or forget something, and the other person picks up our slack, and so now
Deb
picks up a lot of my slack.
Well, and I think too, you're just afraid, if there's all this fear, I'm going to look foolish. But when you're around people who are trying to reach out and help others, it makes it a lot easier for you to be braver, knowing that other people are trying to do the same.
Yeah.
So I hope if that were to happen today, I would pray for the dog, not even hesitate.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we do to engage our neighbors is we walk through our neighborhood often, and then just engage people as we see them, and make sure that we're friendly and care about them and pray for them. So I have a 3x5 card with about 30, 40 neighbors, their names on that card, and I just pray regularly, not every day, but often. And I let them know that I'm praying for them and ask them how they're doing and whatever I've been praying.
Well, there's kind of an area in our neighborhood where you can just sit down and look over, you know, a really nice view. And so from time to time, I notice there will be people sitting there and by themselves or just kind of relaxing. And if I'm out walking, I'll just go over and join them and just start a conversation. And most of the time, it leads to sharing about, you know, my faith in Jesus and just, you know, sharing the gospel with them. And so that's another thing. If there's an area in your neighborhood where people gather, sometimes it's the mailbox, you know, everybody goes to get their mail. That's a good way to engage with people too.
Yeah, I saw our mail lady the other day, Anita. And I said, "Hey, Anita, how are you doing?" And she said hi. And I said, "Deb and I pray for you every day. I know Deb shared her story with you." Hey, if this is helpful, pass it on to somebody else. And until next time, keep making disciples until there's no place left. Oh, I introed this morning.
Oh, okay.
Let me intro it again.
No. You're good.
You don't want to hear the intro?
Well, I just was thinking that.
Oh, man.